What is the deal, YouTube? It is Craig Harris, the Pope of Xbox. What is going on out there today? It is 12 noon in the Eastern time zone. It's here. Shout out to everybody that's going to be listening to my voice later. Big shout out to the people that came by the Porch Light podcast last night. I forgot to leave that link here. I don't know why I keep doing that. I do apologize. So I was not planning on doing a podcast today. I've got to work tonight, so I'll be probably taking a nap here in another 2.5 to 3 hours. But I wanted to give a big special thanks to the people that came by the yesterday evening, the Porch Light podcast. So shout out to all you all. But what's up, everybody from east to left coast or the west coast? Congratulate Savage Uger again on becoming an uncle. Certainly hope mother and child are doing good, but nice blessing to the family. And let me tell you this, spoil them right now when they're babies because they think it's cool to be around you, because pretty soon you're going to be the old uncle that's going to be yelling, "Get off of my lawn," type of guy. So, but shout out to everybody out there. Worldwide, what's happening. Big shout out to Porter Rock 77. Shout out to J-Dub, my man J-Dub. And Foxy Games UK. Go check his channel out. He had a big shout out to him because he gave me a shout out yesterday for the not the Assassin's Creed news, but the Witcher 3 news. So we'll get right into this right now. Shout out to the people that are watching, as I said, the people that are here now, and the people that will be here later listening to my voice. Shout out to all you all. Hopefully you all are having a good day. Right now, I'm going to start screen sharing right now. And because some early reviews of Assassin's Creed Origins is in, and you all may want to take a look at kind of what they're going for. Sharing right now. So it says, for better or worse, Assassin's Creed Origins is an RPG now. Now this is coming from PC World. This happened 20 hours ago. So if you are expecting a game like the old Assassin's Creed, whether you like the Kenway, the one from Black Flag, or you like one of my favorite Assassin's Creeds 2 and then Brotherhood, leading on to Assassin's Creed Revelations, all that kind of stuff. That's over and done with. These cats at Ubisoft, and I give them, they got some brass ones. They are trying to knock Witcher 3 off. They're trying to knock the crown off Witcher 3. We'll be getting to that later. We're trying to get, they're going for the king. Witcher 3, of course, came out in 2015. It is arguably the best RPG I've played this gen. Now, let me caveat that by saying I've not played Persona 5 yet. And again, I've heard nothing but great things about Persona 5. So, and all you cats that have played Persona 5, okay, if you want to say Persona is better than Witcher, I can't argue with you. I'm caveating me. The two best RPGs I played this gen have been Witcher, followed by Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, Horizon Zero Dawn ain't sleeping on nobody. That is a fantastic RPG. Assassin's Creed, however, is looking to take that on. And I'm not, we're going to have to wait and see how it scores out. But apparently they've got a Witcher 3 style of leveling up. They've got an extensive loot system and crafting system similar to The Witcher. They said it is brutally hard. Okay, well, so I'm looking forward to the game already. When you put crafting in the game and make that part of the element to live, that's what I'm talking about. I am not, this whole thing of hitting a button and your character leveling up. I don't like doing that. That's just me personally. Okay, let me make that clear. So, and also I did not play the Shadow of Mordor, whatever that is, War for Mordor, whatever that damn game is. And that game is being savaged because of microtransactions. And so is Forza 7. So all you cats out there trying to compare Forza 7 to whether it be Project Cars or Gran Turismo, stop doing it. Stop doing it. Stop. Forza 7 allegedly, again, because I haven't bought it yet, it is rife with microtransactions to the point where I truly believe that the developers want to go ahead and just start charging people $100 for the games. And I don't know why they just don't come out and say that. We're going to just say we're going to charge $99.99 for our game. And that gives you the whole game. If you pre-order it, we'll knock off $10. But a pre-order is going to be $20 now. All right. And you're going to have to pay $70 for the game. So, I mean, that's just me. I mean, so a developer, that's what they want to do. Somebody's going to have to do that. So, and to say, look, the game is going to be $99.99. And I know you got special things like online. I've seen like some games, but these microtransactions are getting ridiculous. Big shout out to YouTuber Yang Ye. Go check out his video on Forza 7. That's disappointing. And this is not about the game itself as far as what the game looks like and what the game sounds like, how the game handles. I'm sure it's a beautiful game. It's going to do fine. But all these microtransactions that are in it, it's getting to a point where there's a lot of people complaining. And a big shout out to Press Start Kofi because he returned his game. Said he just buy it cheaper. Therefore, if a game's going to do that, people are going to start waiting to buy them until they go on sale. So, but I'm telling you, let me get back to Assassin's Creed. Apparently, again, give big shout out to Ubisoft. They got some brass ones, and I'm talking about they're going for if you're going to aim high. They are actually trying to knock Witcher off of its spot, take the crown from the king, so to speak. So. But apparently, I'm screen sharing this. I won't go too much. I'm buying the game. Of course, you all know that. In a couple weeks, it'll be out. But, yeah, it says he spent 4 hours or so in the northern sections, just going through different things. And it says right here something that if you prefer the ferocity of Ezio or Kenway, you won't find it here. Life is brutal. So I'm all about it being brutal. I got no problem with that at all. Good luck to them. If you're going to aim, you better not miss. You're going for the king, baby. You know, what's that saying? Aiming for the king, you better not miss. So think of that. Assassin's Creed is now an RPG. I mean, I never thought I'd see the day that happened, but that's exactly what they've done. So, I'm glad that they did it, but it's scary too because they are taking the game in another direction. So big shout out to them, and I hope that they're able to do it. So, let me continue. That just broke a few minutes ago. So did the Forza stuff. Also on Xbox, there is a big sale. On Xbox, they do have Rise of the Tomb Raider on Xbox, the definitive version. I think it's only like $20 if I remember it correctly. I think it's only $20. So go buy that game. Okay, seriously, go buy that game because the Xbox community, I'm saying, is the Pope of Xbox. You all did not support that game, and since you didn't support the game damn near went out of business because of that game because you all didn't buy it. So you all need to go and buy this game. It is a really good game. So, and if you're going to if you want to say, well, I'm going to get it on the Xbox X, I assume that if you buy an Xbox X, you can just set everything up and then move everything over to your Xbox X. I'm pretty sure that's the way they can do it. So hopefully that's what everybody does. But that game is only like $20. I think Child of Light, that's only like $5. I mean, again, you guys need to go buy these games. Another one, Hitman, the complete Hitman season. That means everything, okay? The complete Hitman season. It's only, I think it's only like $15. I recommend this. It's the Pope of Xbox. I bless all those games. You all need to go buy those games and play these games. So, I mean, it is what it is. People got to start supporting their games. Or not, we ain't going to have them. So then it doesn't matter how many T-flops and power we got. What are we going to be playing? So let me move on here to My Life is Strange review, episode 1. Big shout out to One Stop for Gamers. He said that Life is Strange, the year it came out, was his game of the year. I can see why. I mean, if you can get past how pale these girls look in the game, and they are pale. Okay, but It is a good game. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. It's almost an action adventure game, so but it is really cool. I just beat the first episode, and it was free, and I think it's only $20, and this is exactly why I bought it instead of, and I took Cuphead back. So I will be buying the complete season. And I'm sorry I missed this game on I think PlayStation Plus, or maybe I did download it. I just have to check it. But again, the game is really, really good. So what's up, Corey Massey? So, yeah, let me move on to people, because I think there's a lot of people having trouble with their 4K TVs that have direct messaged me. So let me explain this to you all. If you have if you have an Xbox One S or a PlayStation Pro, and you have a 4K TV, okay, you need any game that's 1080p. So Star Wars Battlefront, the beta, which is 1080p, by the way, 1080p 60 is the base 1080p mode. If you're playing that on PlayStation Pro, or you're playing that on Xbox One S, if you have a 4K TV, your output is 1080p. You need to go tell your Xbox and your PlayStation Pro to only output the game at 1080p. Okay? At that point, the television, if it's 4K, it will upscale the image to 4K. Again, let the TV do its job. Because if you're telling the TV to output the source at this 1080p to just automatically output it, it's trying to find something that's not there. So it's not going to work as well. It's going to still upscale, but just not, it's not going to upscale from 1080p. It's just going to be like, well, you're telling me to upscale at a 2160p point, and it's not here. So again, this is, again, if you have an Xbox One and you're doing any kind of backwards compatible game, because remember, a lot of those games were 486, 600p, whatever. You need to tell, if your game's natural output was 720p, you need to tell the Xbox to output the game at 720p. It will do it. Okay, then you let it upscale. It's gonna look like trash. Okay, it will look like trash. So you may want to ask it to do it in 1080p or 1080i. But this is why I put 1080p upscale to 4K, because if your game is upscaling to if your TV is upscaling for you and your game is only outputting at 1080p, you need to tell the source, which is either your PlayStation or your Xbox, to go to 1080p and upscale it. You'll get a cleaner picture. Okay, just trust me. All right, and take it, if you have a Samsung TV, take that shit out of game mode. Okay, a lot of people have said I'm going to switch it to game mode. You realize when you switch it to game mode, you get a little bit better FPS, but you're going to sacrifice your graphics. Okay. Again, I played Elite Dangerous yesterday on my Xbox One S. Because I hadn't played it in a while. Played it for about an hour before I played Life is Strange. And when I took that TV out of game mode, the colors popped. Now, I mean, again, the game is pretty stable at 60. So, and you're traveling through space. You don't need it. It's not a lot. If this frame rate drops, you can't tell, So, laugh out loud at Matt's comment section over this. Well, I didn't know they said anything. So, yeah. Yeah, I said upscaling makes the picture much softer. Games that render higher than 1080p much. Yeah, just if your game is rendering at 1080p, okay, let it render at 1080p. Now, we'll move into the Witcher 3, because the Xbox community has its panties in a wad, especially now. And I left some links down in the description. One is from Eurogamer. That's Digital Foundry. And NX Gamer's page. Now, this is, NX Gamer. We'll see, the Microsoft.com. That's an NX Gamer. Oh, did that not get in there? Okay, maybe his name. But go sub to a YouTuber named NX Gamer. This is for the people who want to call Digital Foundry Pony Foundry. because he does a frame rate test. He shows you some of the artifacting and things like that. So let me help you out on this. This has nothing to do with anything but your settings, okay? Let me help you all out here. This has nothing to do with Witcher. Throw Witcher out. If you have a video game that's a shooter, like Call of Duty, whatever this new one was, Infinite, whatever it's called, Infinite Warfare, whatever that damn thing was called, okay. If it had a option on there for motion blur, because it's a shooter, you need to keep your motion blur on. It's a shooter, okay? Keep motion blur on. Do you know why? Well, because you're moving around so fast, it's going to simulate like you're shooting, like you're outside running around shooting. If you go outside and you run around and you whip your head around, not whipping nay-nay, because that's horrible. Or is it dipping nay-nay? It's whipping. Don't do that. If you go outside and run around in a circle and turn your head, everything's going to be blurry. So it's going to simulate that. That will be a much more natural setting to what you're used to. For an RPG like Witcher, Horizon Zero Dawn, I already know with Witcher, they already have motion blur on there. I specifically remember that in the option screen. Okay. So I highly recommend with Witcher, you turn off motion blur. It's an RPG. Even if you're riding your horse really fast, you're not riding it so fast to cause a lot of blur. Even if you're fighting a monster, you're not moving fast enough to do these things. And you know, when you're fighting, let's say you fight 2 or 3 people at once, because everybody has done that. The screen doesn't focus in, it pulls back. So again, you don't need motion blur. Okay. Or if you want to, okay, but it's just not going to be that big a deal. I'm sorry. So for me, let me just tell you my settings on every RPG that I play. If there's an option for motion blur, I have left it on. Okay. I'm sorry. If the RPG, I've left it off. I just turn my motion blur off. That's me. Okay. That helped. That the motion blur RPG off. Okay. Motion blur shooting game on. That will help you with your with all your stuff. So it will. Just trust me. Just try a shooting game and leave your motion blur on just to kind of see how that feels. Play it like that for 2 hours and then tell me what you think. Just direct message me, okay? RPGs, and yes, big shout out to NX Gamer. Yeah, I like NX Gamer because he does his own thing. He can do the same thing as Digital Foundry, except he's doing it and he looks at it like from a gamer's point of view. And like he said in his review, and I'm paraphrasing him of Witcher, it is 4K. It is hitting the 4K buffer. It's going probably from 1800p and it's taking that image and it's upscaling it similar to Horizon Zero Dawn, okay, which I don't think anybody had a problem with. And so big shout out to CD Projekt Red for doing this. And like Corey Massey said in his comment yesterday, what CD Projekt Red did was correct. They dropped their patch. They said, here it is. If you enjoy it, fine. If you don't, you don't. So, but is there artifacting on a checkerboard? Yes, there's artifacting on checkerboard. So you may or may not. I personally, it's an RPG. So I turned my blur off. That will help cut down on the artifacting. That's just a matter of reality. There's nothing to damage control. Okay, you can apply this to any other game. So, I mean, if it's an RPG and it says motion blur, I'll give you another game. Mass Effect. Now, Mass Effect is hard because Mass Effect Andromeda has motion blur, and you have combat and you have RPG settings when you're talking to people. So you got to make a decision on that. That for me was hard. I went with the motion blur on because there's more RPG on there than I'm sorry, there was more shooting in RPG moments. I'm getting that confused myself. So let me say that again because I'm talking over myself because I'm sleepy. If you have a shooter, leave your motion blur on. That's me. That's what I do. Okay. And iDie's right that everybody does motion blur. But if you have you put a shooting game in and it says motion blur on, off, leave it on. If you have an RPG, motion blur on, off, I leave mine off. So, so it is what it is. So, and it doesn't matter what console you got. That's an option that the developers are putting in. Now, if it defaults to that, because some of them default to on, then that's kind of what the developers want you to have. So, but again, on RPGs, because you're not moving fast. You want, I turn my motion blur off. Okay, that's just for me. All right. Now, I'm not saying it's however you all want to do it. Okay, you all are your own station. You cannot say I'm my own station and then not take responsibility. So, but for me, that's just it. But let me get back. The Xbox community is all up in arms over Witcher 3. It is 4K on the Pro. It hits the 2160 buffer. It's been confirmed by Eurogamer, which is Digital Foundry. It's been confirmed by independent people. Shout out to NX Gamer. He confirmed it. Again, it's a good build. Now, again, people got to remember, Witcher is a two. I can't remember. Did Witcher come out in the summer of 2015 or in the spring of 2015? I'm thinking it was the summer. So it's 2.5 years old, and it's got a 4K patch, and they've done a really good job. So, again, people got to decide what they want to do with it. So, yeah, what's going on, Trey BK? So, and there's no upscaling when there's full checkerboard 2160p. The up there, again, if it's checkerboarded, then it's not native. So there's going to be some upscaling. It's just they got to 4K by using the checkerboard. That's it. But because there's a checkerboard, it has some bleed or artifacting to help cut down on your bleed and on your artifacting. And on artifacting, you can control your motion blur. That is totally up to you, though. So, I mean, like I said, there's no right or there's no wrong. So, yeah, big shout out to Matt's Gaming. I was just on a podcast with Matt's a couple of weeks ago. So, with Foxy Games. So, yeah, I think it's funny. He went to 1,000. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I'm an early sub to Matt's. I think the name of his podcast was called the Stay Tuned for More podcast. So, yeah, but it's not about him. Yeah, I do agree, iDie, that people understand the way checkerboarding works. There's not and I've explained it till I'm blue in my face. I'm done explaining it. So, yeah, 90, I don't say 90. Most of the games that we're going to get, because these games are so CPU heavy now, even Witcher, we're not going to get 60 frames per second. We may get some open frame stuff, but shout out to Foxy Games. Shout out to Foxy because he said that the load times on Witcher 3 have been significantly reduced. Okay, now I don't know by how much because Digital Foundry hasn't done that test yet. But again, it's a console. I'm going to keep harping on this. These are consoles, guys. So, and if we want 60 frames 4K, you need to go ahead and be on a PC. You got to look at the fact that The Witcher is 2 years old. All right. And we still got a 4K build of it. So again, is that enough to pull you back into that world? Because if you do The Witcher, then you do both those expansions, you're looking at over 90 to 115 hours of gameplay. Are you willing to go through that again? And I'm talking about to do everything. When I did Witcher, when I beat it, it got the good ending, or one of the better endings, I should say, a good, better ending. I played it for about It was over 100 hours. And like I said, this is no spoiler. Ciri became a Witcher, and then I got one where she became queen or the princess or something like that. I got one ending where Geralt ended up with Yennefer. This is when the Blood and Wine. Geralt ended up. I won't spoil that because a lot of people haven't played that one. But anyway, you get the drift. If you played Witcher 1, 2, and 3, which again, if you have Witcher 1 and 2, and then you have that on Xbox One, here's one of the good things, because they're backwards compat. You can take, like they did with Mass Effect, those events in Witcher 1 and 2 will carry over into Witcher 3. That's why it'll ask you on the screen when you load up the game, it'll say something like add additional content or something like that. Yeah, the villain's right. 200 hours for sure. Yeah, like I said, it was, the longest I've ever played a game ever. 228 hours. That's Oblivion on the Xbox 360. That's why I say the Xbox 360 to me is the best console of all time. Oblivion, I was heavy into Oblivion. I'm talking, I was doing everything I could. I love that game. I love that world. I wish they would go back and remaster something like that. Fallout 3 was the same way on the 360. I had over 150 hours into Fallout 3. I bought all the DLC. So I love that thing. So, yeah, I agree, Savage. Yeah, if you want to be 4K 60 all the time, look, but the Xbox community truly and they are bitching. Here's my thing on them. I know there's people that have Xboxes that are subbed to this channel, and I know that there's people that got both consoles. Some may have an Xbox and a Switch. Some may have a Switch and a PlayStation. Some may be having an Xbox and a PC. Nothing wrong with that. Your combination is your combination. But all you guys are doing at this point is you are bitching. There is nothing to complain about, okay? First is about something called a PUBG, okay? We're getting PUBG. It sold all these copies on PC. Well, why are you bragging about that? That has nothing to do with the console space, okay? Well, and they truly think that, the people can either upgrade their PCs or they can come get an X. That's what they think is going to happen. And the word I'm going to use for them is called relevancy. Now, this word was given to me by somebody who works at Microsoft. She said, Craig, for the last 20 months, all right, not even out of the 36 months, 20 of those 36 months, 20 months out of those 36, PlayStation has done to Xbox or to Microsoft what nobody has done, and that's make their fan base feel irrelevant. It just didn't matter who cared about the Xbox One. Okay, it was being shit all over the place. Okay, it was being made fun of. It was like people were showing pictures of it. Like a friend of mine said, well, he didn't have anything to, he had to change his tire. He didn't have a jack. So he acted like he could put his Xbox One underneath his car to help jack his car up, So, I don't, but these guys are just bitching. I don't understand. So it's the console is the console. Okay. So again, and like I said to somebody the other day, the console, the Xbox One X, is coming out 1 year after the Pro. So, of course, it's going to be more powerful. Just like the original Xbox, the OG Xbox, is more powerful than the PlayStation 1 and 2 combined. Okay? That's the truth. Everything, the games, the multi-plats that were on the PlayStation that went to the Xbox and whatever looked better, ran better. It just did. The sound was better. Everything was better. Okay, so they're acting like this is the first time they've had the most powerful console on market. It's not. It's actually the second time. Okay, it's actually the second time. So, and so that's why I was saying to Cycle Gamer yesterday in Halo Storm, look, if you want to say that the Xbox got outsold because of power, then explain the Nintendo Switch. Because it's underpowered compared to the original Xbox and the PlayStation 4. Yet it's selling very well. Okay, if you want to say, so you take that away from them, then you ask them. That's why I asked them yesterday. Okay, explain the Nintendo Switch when it comes to the games. because according to you all, nothing matters but the multiplats. And it's just they're bitching. And I mean, I don't games sell consoles. That's it. And for them to run around and say that the only multiplayer games count is spits in the face of Knights of the Old Republic. It spits in the face of Splinter Cell. It spits in the face of Halo. Okay, if none of those games matter, how come Halo, you still need to have an Xbox to play Halo? Why isn't Halo on the PlayStation or the Nintendo? Because it's an exclusive game to Microsoft. Gears of War, it's exclusive to Microsoft. Forza, it's exclusive to Microsoft. If multiplats are what matters, in air quotes, then those games would be multiplat, because then everybody would be playing them. I mean, and that's why and that's what I'm saying. I'm just tired of the bitching. There's no reason for you all to complain. Witcher 3, according to Microsoft's own lingo, is true 4K. It's downsampling for the people who have 1080p TVs, because remember, there's more people with 1080p TVs in the world that own PlayStation and Xbox than there are people that have 4K TVs. That's a reality of the situation. That's why I say to people, when you buy a 4K TV, you go from the majority of 1080p to the minority of 4K, and you're not going to be in the minority and try to drive the market. That is stupid. Nobody does that. Okay? As good as the Apple iPhones they say are, they're still the minority of cell phones. Android is the majority. Android dictates the market. Doesn't matter if you have an iPhone. You're in the minority. You know what? You go somewhere, I need a charger for my cell phone. Well, guess what? 90% of the people are going to have Android phones. It's just a fact. So Zaire keeps that. Zaire is wrong. The people who are saying power is the reason why it's out, so they can't explain the Nintendo Switch. And I don't care who it is. So I don't care if it's Zaire. I don't care if it's Tim Dog. I don't care. Okay, that power had nothing to do with it. Nobody really knew how the power narrative. Nobody knew that when these consoles launched. I saw one article about PlayStation 4 and Xbox, like in October of 2013, one article, and it wasn't like a major article. It literally just had a throwaway line. It said, well, if third-party developers choose, some of these games may look better on the PlayStation if they choose. That was in parentheses, okay? But that wasn't the main thing that sold the PlayStation. Was the price. If you go back and you watch the PlayStation reveal in 2013, when they announced the price, they didn't say PlayStation is more powerful than the Xbox One X. They never said that. What got them their biggest ovations was when they said about trading in the games, which got a big ovation. Then that one guy, the guy that's leaving, Andrew House, came out and said, hey, look, it's this console is going to cost you $399. That gets the biggest ovation, period. So it's price. Now, because it doesn't fit their narrative, they say, no, it's power. No, nobody knew about the power. Nobody knew about it. Like I said, the first thing that got the attention of power, surprisingly, is Witcher 3, because Xbox showed it running on PC. Okay, remember that? And that other game they showed running on PC, The Division. Okay, they showed that running on PC. So people were like, why are you showing games running on PC? Then it turned out, okay, people started figuring it out. The Xbox can't, they remember the games would come out, guys, and what would they say? Well, everything looks downgraded. It doesn't look the same. Why doesn't the game look the same? That's when the narrative switched to power. That's when our narrative switched to power. How come the games at E3 look one way and then when it hits your television, it don't look that way? And then it started to leak out. The developers started leaking things out. Well, our stuff, this game is running in this on the PC. It's only running 720p on the Xbox. It's only running 792p on the Xbox. It's like, what the hell is 792p? Okay. And I mean, that's when the whole power thing started. Now, the very first 1080p game that I remember, me personally, I remember is infamous Second Son. I know you're going to say Killzone. Killzone was garbage. Infamous Second Son was actually pushed, literally pushed, because it was 1080p. And that was the game that was going to suffer the most because there was a shortage of PlayStation. You couldn't find a PlayStation for like 6 damn months. And I remember a friend of mine that runs GameStop. He's the general manager, or not, I'm sorry, he's the the district manager over the GameStops here in Lexington, Kentucky. So he said, look, Sony is sitting on like 2.5 million of these things because they're waiting on their fail rate to be reported. As soon as their fail rate comes back and they can report that to the FCC, we're going to get more PlayStations. Plus, infamous Second Son comes out in 3 weeks, and they don't want that game out and people not being able to play it. So, and he was right. A week and a half after I talked to him about that, I walked into GameStop and it said a big sign, "It's here, PlayStation 4." So I came back home, unhooked my Xbox, kissed it goodbye, and I went up there and traded it in. I mean, that's how this shit worked, okay? That's how it worked. So, and I'll be honest with you, if they hadn't had it in stock, I would have bought an Xbox One. I just would have said, give me that Xbox One, because they had a hellified trade program, and they were going to give you like $192 for my Xbox, the Xbox 360. So yeah, I remember Watch Dogs as well. Yeah, that's what got the whole power thing going. But let me go back to Witcher 3. So Witcher 3 is in 4K right now. They swear up and down it's going to be better on the Xbox X. And I'm saying, based on what? What article can you source right now? What article can you provide to me right now? Send it direct message, and I will go ahead and run with it. As the Pope of Xbox, it's my duty to let you know that. Phil Spencer said the price of Xbox on the cover. No, Phil Spencer, look, over in Japan right now, begging for greatness right now, begging for it. He's talking to Japanese developers again, which I think is good. He should have done 2-3 years ago. Now J-Dub has sent me this. Yeah, this is from Gaming Bolt. Let's see what this says. Xbox One X's full utilization depends on games. Difference from PS4 Pro comes down the line. FE Director talks about utilizing the Xbox One X and improve experiences. Okay, well, let's see what it says. But again, so Witcher 3 is 4K, true 4K according to Microsoft. Now, see, that's okay when it comes to their games. 4K. Well, as long as it looks better than the PlayStation, because they're a bunch of friggin' babies. Okay? I got them bitching on Twitter. A grown-ass man bitching at me on Twitter because I returned Cuphead. It was my money. I'll do what the hell I want, and I got a better game than Cuphead. Got people saying, well, it's too hard. You jump up and down and shoot blue darts. How hard is that? Okay, that's all I did. I'm like, all right. He jumps up and down, and the animation, look, I am not going to lie to y'all. The animation and the music is spot on. Okay? Is spot on. So, okay, this is all right. This is from, shout out to J-Dub. He just sent this to me. For all the power the Xbox One X touts, it's still not the next generation of Xbox hardware. This stopgap console upgrade is still very much dependent on the Xbox One lineups, and unlike the PS4 Pro, there aren't exactly tons of exclusives to choose from. Yeah, you hear that? This is from an actual damn developer for all you cats out there talking about power. Clearly, this is talking about games. So still there is of developers utilizing the power of the Xbox One X to offer better visuals than the PS4 Pro. How tough will that be? That's a question. Gaming Bolt spoke to Andreas, I guess this is Bayer, and if I'm butchering the last name, I do apologize, who is directing the indie platformer FE, which I think FE is Iron. So about games potentially utilizing the full power of the Xbox One X and how tough it is considering they must support the Xbox One as well. Okay, the regular good old-fashioned Xbox One or Xbox One S if you want to call it that, because that's the default Xbox now. So Bayer said that it was just recently made available, so I'd say it will take time before anyone is able to use its full potential. Making good games is quite hard. It's quite hard work, and it takes a long time. To try to answer the questions in a broader sense, in my experience, developers always aim to do the best games they can with the tools, the time, and the resources at their disposal. Again, this is why they keep bragging about how fast they can port games. They don't understand porting something isn't actually developing it. All porting means is, like I've said before, if Savage Yuger sells me his couch and I go to his house and I port it from his room into my apartment, it's still just in my apartment. You see what I'm saying? You know, you got what I'm saying? So it's not where I want it to be. I just come in, I put it down, like, oh damn, I put it where I put it in my apartment. I have not put it where I want it to be. And that's the difference in porting something. That's the difference in porting something and actually having something where you want it. So, and they don't understand that. And they're bitching about it. I mean, that's the whole thing, is like, okay, when you're older and you see what's going on, and it's like they don't understand it. I'm tired of them bitching. Okay, there's nothing to complain about. You got a new console coming out in like 31 days. You're still bitching. I mean, you know, so instead of being happy about the console, so it says Bayer, let's see here. Now, where was I before I was rudely interrupted? So it says, all right, resource at their disposal. It says, I guess using the full potential of the X comes down to the question if it's going to make the specific game you make a lot better, because it'll probably take time away from doing other things that could benefit the game on all other platforms as well. But honestly, I've yet to play a full game on Xbox X, so this is all hypothetical. Okay, you ever heard of a game called Destiny 2? Remember when the Destiny 2 Bungie developer said they are more, let's take what he said. Look at Destiny 2. Look what those developers said. Now, I'm going to paraphrase the developer. The developer says something to the fact of, hey, look, we got to concentrate on what we have out right now. We're not going to speculate on something that's not here yet, because that's not what we do. They're not going to hold up all their friggin' benchmarks that they got to hit, because they've got shareholders, they've got stocks that they got to deal with. These Xbox guys thought, oh, okay, here's something more powerful. You're going to sit down and you're going to make your game look better on this console. What a crock of bullshit coming from them. And I'm saying that as the Pope of Xbox. So, you know, to think that the developers are going to just stop, give you a pillow, shut down all production and say, come over here, look at what Microsoft has done, when you all don't even back your damn games. You don't buy your games. Okay? And since you don't, to think that a developer is just going to go out of their way and do things for you, are you out of your mind? Okay? How stupid are you? Okay, not the Xbox community, you, the individual Xbox owner. I'm an Xbox owner, and I know I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Okay? So that is crazy. So as for the console wars that are going to happen between PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, Bayer said it all comes down to the games available for both audiences. This is from a developer, for Christ's sake. Okay, I think that I think there will always be different views on what's the better system. I remember the same discussion from 100 years ago about the 8-bit NES and the Sega Master System. Both PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X have fantastic hardware specs. So as usual, I think it comes down to what games will be available to the players. All right, that's the end of this discussion at this point. It's over. It is about the games. That's it. All right? I will have no more of this power talk because, see, if it was about the power, if it's about the power, then the Nintendo Switch, the Switch would not be selling. If it's about if it's about third-party support, the Switch would not be selling. They are just now getting third-party support, yet they're winning NPD. I mean, how stupid is the Xbox community? I mean, seriously. So, I mean, it's just, I have never understood this. So we got them over there just bitching and moaning about The Witcher 3. If I want to play The Witcher 3, if I want to go back, let me make this clear. If I want to go back and play The Witcher 3 in 4K, I'll do it. Now, I don't have to wait for an Xbox X. I don't have to wait, a month to play the game? I can have the game beat in a month. I can have the game beat in a month, and so could you, but they're like, oh, we're going to get the definitive version. Again, based on what fact? What fact do you have that you can send to me right now while I'm sitting here awake? I want you to send it to me. Matter of fact, I want you to send it to me. And if you send it to me, if you send me an article right now that says that the Xbox One X version is going to be definitively better, I will step down as the Pope of Xbox. I'll just go back to being the black man in the green chair. So, but you won't be able to, because there's nothing out there. Are they going to get an Xbox X version? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not here to say they're not getting an enhanced version. And again, the game is 2 years old. So if you want to go back and play it, go back and play it. The patch for the Pro is here now. The patch for the Pro is actually really, really good. Shout out to Mark Camacho and shout out to Foxy Games, because they've got first-hand knowledge of it. We now know that it's a 4K game. Okay? It is according to them, it's a full 4K game. So I just find it amazing. So that just how stupid they are. They're just bitching. At this point, you're just bitching for nothing. And I don't know if it's for attention. I don't know if it's because I personally think you're upset because you're second to it. Like shout out to J-Dub when he said, if you're not first, you're last. Okay, and the fact of the matter is that it is out right now, and it's over and done with. And the butt hurt is just real. So, and it's amazing. So I'm trying to find the Eurogamer article. So, and so again, it is confirmed, okay? Effectively sees the developer render a 1920 by 2160 frame buffer in a checkerboard configuration, typically filling in the gaps using information from prior frames. Again, it's particularly effective in games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Destiny 2. Okay? Now I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to screen share this, and this is for people, gamer. This sentence right here. Okay. Everybody's reading. All right, now I'm sharing this. This is from Thomas Morgan. Now, this is the skinny guy at Digital Foundry, I believe. So, because Richard's kind of the heavier guy. Thomas, I think, is the skinnier guy. Okay. All right, so we're just going to read this again. We've only just started to look at the upgrade version of the title, but it's pretty clear from the outset The CD Projekt Red is using checkerboard rendering to boost the presentation of the game from its native 1080p on base hardware. Now remember, it was 900p on the Xbox One. That's its base rendering. Okay, so this technique effectively sees the developer render 1920 by 2160 frame buffer in checkerboard configuration. 2160p is 4K. Okay, typically filling in the gaps using information from prior frames. Now this is the artifacting. Prior framing is artifacting. So it's proven particularly effective in games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Destiny 2. So here again is confirmation that they're hitting 4K through the checkerboard on Destiny 2, with little in the ways of artifacts visible to the naked eye. Okay? It's an excellent technique for a GPU better suited to 1440p gameplay, like the Pro is. Okay, that's what it's suited to do. But they, through a checkerboarding, they may be able to get it go from 1440p and upscale it to 2160p, and that's because that's one of the lower natives they can use, or they can use 1800p like Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, or they use 1800p like Destiny 2, and you're going to see more games at between 16 and 1800p. So, in my opinion, and again, that's what they're shooting for. Okay, but let's keep on reading. 14 gameplay to achieve a good presentation fit for a 4K screen. Now, that's exactly what Mark Cerny. God love Mark Cerny, but he put me to sleep during that press conference last year in New York. This is exactly what they said they wanted to do. They are delivering it. Okay, if they're just giving, if I went out and bought a 4K TV and bought a PS4 Pro and I want a game on it, this game is allowing me to take advantage of my metal. Another thing that I don't like about this that nobody is talking about is that they didn't put HDR in here. They did not patch it with HDR. Now, The Witcher, in my opinion, looked so good that it didn't need it. HDR would be for something in the 1440p range, you know, and if you wanted to add it, that's fine. And this is why Horizon, I thought, looked better than The Witcher. I thought Horizon Zero Dawn technologies, and it should look better because The Witcher came out in 2015 and Horizon came out in 2017. So the game should look better. They've had more time to deal with the new hardware, whereas in CD Projekt Red just did a patch. Horizon has been built ground up, so of course Horizon looks better. Okay? So, I mean, again, this is something that I wish everybody, says, okay, The Witcher 3's implementation varies in quality thanks to the high pixel density and the sample and hold blur foundation in LCD tech. So the game scales up well to Ultra HD displays. Okay, end of discussion. End of discussion. All right, end of discussion. This is now a dead issue. Now, you know, I'm not here to say that the Scorpio version won't be a definitive version, but until you can provide ample evidence, written evidence, not pulling something up out of your ass evidence that is going to look and run better, just shut up. Literally, this shut it down. Shut it down. So, yeah, Pro also has better. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and look, it probably will look better on the Xbox X. It should. The Xbox X has more up-to-date technology. Here's the difference. They haven't said when it's going to come out. This is what I said yesterday. They may announce it tomorrow. They may announce it Sunday afternoon. They may announce it November 7th when the X comes out. They may announce it October 25th. They may not announce it till December of next year. We just don't know. We just don't know. So since we don't know, what we do know is that it's available right now. Period. You can get it right now, or you don't have to have it at all. So I mean, again, it's and if you want to wait, you can wait, but I'd rather not wait. What's Hat in Hand? Is that like PUBG? Yeah, Digital Foundry's got a video out on it right now. So yeah, HiDi's right about that. So, you know, because again, they're more about cost efficiency and putting the thing together. They want to put together the best product they can, but they don't want to spend a shit ton of money doing it. And neither would you. I mean, if you could get, I don't know, let's make it a car. If you could get if you can get 700 cc's on your car or motorcycle, okay? If you can get it to 700 cc's, well, it's going to cost you production. It's going to cost you $8,000 to do it, okay? 700 cc's. Or you can do 680 cc's for $4,900 to production, start to finish. Are you really going to bend over backwards for 20 more cc's? That's kind of what you got to ask yourself. Most people are not going to do that. Not for 20 more cc's, 20% more power. Okay, and again, that doesn't mean that a few years from now, this is what I personally think is going to happen. I think a few years from now, when the developers have more time with the with everything, with the tech that Xbox has, the games will look and run better. So, but a lot of people don't care. And like somebody had a message come up, shout out to them, said he's happy with the 1080p version. And I am too. I had no problem with it. Yeah, the Xbox X is going to do a little bit more. Now, early. Now, I do think it will widen the gap next year. Okay, next E3, I think you're going to see some jaw-dropping games running on the Xbox X next year. But also, you do know they're going to announce the PS5. So it's kind of like, all right, well, yeah, that really does look good. But you know what? We're not going to have a Star Wars game next year. Okay, we're not going to have one. I mean, not of the. I won't say that because I know there's a couple other companies working on one. We're not going to have a Battlefront game next year. We're not going to have a Battlefield game next year. We're not going to have a Hitman game next year. There's nothing planned. Okay, so we'll just have to wait and see what's coming out. Here's what I do know we're going to have next year. We're going to have Detroit Become Human next year. We're going to have God of War next year. We're going to have Metro next year. That game with a giant rat, so I'm definitely going to buy that on the Xbox because who don't want to shoot a giant rat? And we're going to have, what's that other one? Spider-Man. I mean, we know these games are coming out next year. So Days Gone, a game is kind of, nobody's really talking about Days Gone a whole lot. So, Yeah, like that developer said, it depends on what kind of games you want to play. That's from a developer, for crying out loud. You would think he'd say, oh, yeah, more people are going to, more power, more power. It depends on what people think is better, is where the ecosystem is, okay? Sony has a bigger ecosystem than Microsoft does. Even with all the backwards compatibility that Microsoft has, again, which is fine, they still don't have as many games as Sony. And that is 2 generations of games. Sony has more games in 1 gen than Microsoft has over 2 gens. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah, Red Dead games will keep coming. You're right about that, Wolf Flow. But after Red Dead, this one is coming up, Red Dead Redemption or whatever it's called, the Red Dead we just saw. So Detroit becoming salty. Yeah. Yeah, Detroit Become Human. We should hear more about that in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited about that. So, yeah, the Red Dead games will come. But after this Red Dead comes out next year, when's the next one going to come out? With 4 years, 5 years? So, but again, it's not there's nothing right or wrong here. It's just I am tired of them bitching. There's no reason for them to be complaining. You're getting a new console in 30 days. You're bitching. I mean, now it's just getting to a point where it's just like, what is left? Okay. All right. You talked about 4K games. You talked about, well, Sony doesn't have as many as Microsoft. Again, well, Sony didn't really target 4K. They said that in their press conference. But Eve Valkyrie, that just came out. That's 4K. Witcher 3 just got a 4K patch. I mean, again, these are games this month. These games are here now. Okay, Assassin's Creed is going to be 4K. Now, I know that developer said it will look definitively better on the Xbox X. But again, I would expect him to because they have a deal with Xbox. Of course he wants more people to buy it on the Xbox. So, yeah, EJ's right. Just take an L, learn from the loss, and support the games. So, yeah, I'm ready for Detroit. Yeah, Days Gone looks interesting. What about Spider-Man? I'm hyped for Spider-Man in Detroit more than Days Gone. But see, that's the thing. Savage Uger being hyped, that's not Savage Uger being wrong about those games. That's just those are the games he's most hyped for. That's what makes us gamers. Okay? So Red Dead R will have DLC first. Yeah, everything is happening. Even the stuff you saw on that trailer was rendered on a regular PS4. Again, that's been confirmed by Digital Foundry. So yeah, I'm interested in Monster Hunter too, but you know what? I can just play Witcher if I want to hunt monsters. So, but hey, I need you all to come over to my other channel. So I'm going to post that link on my Twitter feed. So I know I've already sent this to several of you all, but y'all need to come over to my other channel Saturday night. I'm going to finish reading. Not the same. Okay. The other channel's not the same. Yeah, I know it's not the same, but it's not. Remember, I told you it wasn't going to be the same. So, let's see here. Shoot fire. Okay, what was I about to say? All right, Saturday night, I'm going to finish reading the first tablet of the Sumerian thing. We did that last night. Everybody had fun. There's just a handful of us. So, has no good. Well, yeah, see there, Disinfect Anime. Microsoft not having no good exclusives. That's not true. They've got Forza Horizon. That's a good game. I played it. Okay. Gears of War. I just beat that the other day. I beat that on hardcore. I played that. That's a good game. So that's what that other developer said. It just depends on what you think is good. So now, if you want to say that, if you want to say in your opinion that Microsoft's exclusives can't really compete with Sony's, that's fine. But that's the kind of the way you got to frame that, because that's an opinion. I think they both have good exclusives. Now, Sony has more exclusives. That's a fact. So same old, same old. Yeah. I mean, again, you're right. Yeah, and I just beat Gears. So again, Gears was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. I haven't played a Gears game since Judgment on the 360, and that was a long time ago. That was like what, 2012, 2013, something like that. So the monsters are not big. What, on Witcher? Yes, they are. At least those Griffiths are. So yeah, but as far as the microtransactions, let me just say this really, really quick. Again, they want all their games to cost $100. The developers want you to pay $100 for their games. Instead of just coming out and charging us $99.99 for the game, and say if you want everything, they're trying. That's why they're doing seasonal passes and all that kind of BS. Look, if they just come out and say we want to charge you $100 for the games, and if you don't pay $100 or $99.99, if you're not willing to pay that, we'll give you a game for for $49.99. But this is going to be the base game. What's going on, Scott? It's just going to be the base game. So yeah, Sony's still making PSVR games. Yeah, Sony's got plenty of. Again, the PlayStation 4. Remember what Boogie 2988 said. Okay, the PlayStation 4 is a gaming console designed by gamers, period. That's what it is. So make it worth $100. Well, that's my point, EJ. There won't be any need for microtransactions and loot boxes if the game is worth $100. Okay, because I paid $100, so you can go ahead and give me everything in the game. So, I mean, I will not be happy if I go by, because see, the way CD Projekt Red did it with Witcher was actually really, really, really good. And what they did was they gave us like 33 free things, okay, with the game. The base game, we got 33 free things. And then they put out their DLC. Okay, then they put out their DLC. People thought Sony was going bankrupt. Again, that was a narrative pushed by the Xbox community because they wanted people to abandon Sony's ecosystem. They want Sony's games. Okay, they want those games. Make no mistake about it. Okay, because they're about the bragging rights for the games. Okay, they want the games that way they can say, look what we got. Look what we got. Okay, that's who they are. So, you know, that's who they are. So, and I'm telling you that as the Pope of Xbox, okay? I ain't got no reason to lie to you. They want those games, okay? They bought the Xbox thinking they were going to get games like Horizon and all that kind of stuff. You know, they were still going to get JRPG support again because there was no reason to think that they wouldn't because they had it on 360. They had JRPG support, you know, so... So, yeah. Now, some of the games, I don't mind the DLC as long as the DLC enhances the game. Let me make that clear. If it enhances what I'm playing, I'll buy the DLC. The angry, what was it called for Mass Effect 3? The Angry Ancient DLC, when you got to use that Prothean. When you got to use that Prothean and they made that day one DLC, they cut that out of the game, and the game went from being $49 or whatever, $59.99 to $69.99. Remember, if you bought the collector's edition, you got that with the game, but the collector's edition was what? $69.99. The other one, they cut it out. People were mad as hell, and that's when Casey Hudson, all that shit happened at BioWare. A lot of people ended up leaving. Then we got Mass Effect Andromeda. We got My Face is Tired. But my point is that that game, Mass Effect 3, that the Prothean DLC, that enhanced the game. You got to find out about their war against the Reapers. You got to use him you got to bring him along as a regular teammate. Versus if you use Zaid Masani in Mass Effect 2 or Kasumi Gyoto in Mass Effect 2, you really did not have major conversations with them. And you couldn't make them a romanceable partner if you used a femme chef or a male chef. My only complaint with Mass Effect 3, only complaint wasn't the ending. It was the fact that if we chose to romance, if you had a film chef and you romanced the two Cerberus people, Jacob, and if you had a male chef and you romanced Miranda, if you did, you could not take them with you on the Normandy in Mass Effect 3. So, I mean, that was disappointing. So, because I would have loved to have had Miranda on the Normandy, in Mass Effect 3 with her sexy ass. Because my God, I mean, she was sexy as hell. Put her in that black Cerberus suit or give her a different kind of suit. Say, okay, because of what you all did with the collector base, we're going to pardon your crimes, but we can't have you, maybe change her hair or something like that. Should make her look a little bit different. Had they done something like that, man, oh man, I would have loved it. So, but that, I mean, I loved it anyway, but I really would have loved it, but they didn't. So I need a cold shower. Yeah, I know. So I'm actually going to take a shower here in a minute. But if there's no more questions about this, again, Life is Strange. If you haven't played that, I highly recommend you play that. It's like $15 at Walmart. I bought the, I got the episode 1. I beat it yesterday. So I'm getting the rest of it. I'm just going to do it tomorrow because I got to work tonight and I got to work Saturday. So if I buy it tomorrow, when I come home from work and get all my running around done, I can sleep all day, get up in the evening. So that's what it is. So, and then play the game. Sexy robot. No, Miranda wasn't a robot. That was Edie. So the series was good. Yeah, the series was very good. Again, I thought the 3 Mass Effect games, again, rivaled the first 3 Gears of War games as far as it being a series. And that's what I tell people. That's what made Microsoft great was, man, having games like that, you know, and Splinter Cell and stuff like that. They got away from that with this whole Call of Duty and I'm going to shoot you in the face and go hide in the bushes and you call in the B2. They got away from all that. So, yeah, Forza 7's getting ripped. Unfortunately, Forza 7's getting ripped. So, and what the email I got on Forza 7's microtransactions, that person was right. So I'm going to buy Gran Turismo. So I'm going to be PO. Can't afford the O and the R. So, yeah, I'm going to be working my ass off to get Assassin's Creed, to get, that's 3-4 games I'm getting this month. Damn. Who's Jim Sterling? So, oh, I got a new trailer. Yeah, I'm buying it. I'm gonna buy GT Sport. So that's bought. So the GT Sport, I think, comes out on the 18th, and then a week after that, Assassin's Creed comes out. So I'll be what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Hellblade. Like I said, I'm gonna be playing Hellblade. Hopefully, I'll see my schedule today when I go in tonight, but I plan on playing it the weekend of the 20th through the 22nd. So that was Jim Sterling. No, Miranda, no, she's the Cerberus operative, the female Cerberus operative. So Edie was the robot, Enhanced Defense Initiative. So that's Edie. So that's the one Joker kept staring at. But again, with Mass Effect, the DLC enhanced the game. So, oh, they try to, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I did not know that, Mr. Tudor. I apologize. But I honestly didn't know that. But honestly, guys, I'm going to bounce out of here because I do have to work, and I do have to take a nap and then put my food in the crock pot for lunch tonight. So, but it is good seeing everybody. Like I said, sub to my other Porch Light podcast channel. Like I said, just come on over there because I'll be finishing the Sumerian tablets. Jim is a roll lately. Check him out. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. I won't be able to do a whole lot of anything, though, until Sunday. So, because, yeah, I'm off. It's weird. I get off tomorrow morning, and I'm off Friday. But you got to understand, by the time I get done running around, getting my wig split and all that kind of stuff tomorrow, it's going to be like 12 o'clock. And then I got to come home and try to sleep because I've been up. All right. And then I got to get up and go to work Saturday morning. So, yeah, rip BioWare. I agree. Yeah, hopefully Anthem does do well for them. I'm not going to buy it. Yeah, the checkerboard chair. Yeah, there you go. So the name of my other channel is let me see if I can find it here. Let me do this real fast. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. Actually, maybe I should be able to. So hold on now. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'll get it. And then after I get it, I'll go ahead and put it in the in my not direct message, on my Twitter thing. So if you're following me on Twitter, just go to that. I'll put that link in. I put it up yesterday. And it was funny seeing the people coming in, but like, what is this? So So, yeah, you need to wake up. Yeah, I need to do something different. So, but yeah, it's yeah. Well, when you see my name in the other channel, it does say the Pope of it. It says the voice. Yeah. Oh, is that it, Savage Shooter? Yeah, I think that is the other channel. I do appreciate it, bro. Yeah, just go to that channel and sub, and I'll be on that channel again Saturday night, okay? I'll be up Saturday night, 10 p.m. will be that Porch Light podcast, all right? 10 p.m. will be the Porch Light podcast. So thanks, Savage. I appreciate it. So, and again, that's going to be the same channel that I do the 100 Days of the Panther, the PC podcast, and this stuff like that's going to be my alternate channel to do those things on. So now you're going to start seeing, hopefully, what about the truth of Xbox? Oh, no. There's too many truths on YouTube. So I'm good. I'm the Pope right now. So now if somebody wants to provide me an article that says that Witcher 3 is going to look and run better on Xbox X, I'll step down as the Pope. But nobody is going to be able to do that. Are they getting an enhanced version? Yes. But we don't know what the enhancements are going to be. And I'm not here to say that it won't look better. I'm simply saying there's nothing printed that says that. So, but I'm about to bounce out of here. So let me give a big shout out to the Ash and Luca. You all go check out her channel. My boy Jay Fonzarelli, again, Puerto Rock again. Big shout out to Puerto Rock. J-Dub, just for that tweet. Foxy Games UK at Savage Uger. Thanks because Savage was listening to the he listened a little bit last night. So I can't remember. So but it was a fun podcast. So, but yeah, you all go check out the other channel, sub to that channel if you want, because that's the Urban Legends thing. And that's what I was doing last night. So but I think Trey BK maybe came in and stopped over there for a little bit. So it was fun. And J-Dub, yeah. So part 2 tomorrow night. We're still on the first tablet, but part 2 Saturday night, 10 p.m. So if you need to catch up, go listen to that. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for coming by here. Have a good, safe Thursday. And if you go out tonight, wear white. Take it easy, guys. Peace.